Hello and welcome to another episode of EMA Cloud Rant. Today with Eddie Kandel from GreenQ. Eddie, your company is all around optimizing waste management, right? You coined this term, or you at least using this term, the Internet of Garbage. It's fascinating to everybody who is not into this topic, who is not familiar with this topic to this degree. What is your specific value proposition? What do you do that nobody else can do in waste management?
Our goal is to manage it better, to monitor all the activities that are related to the waste collection. And if we monitor it, we can make it better. We can make sure that the people are doing what they're supposed to, and we can optimize it. When you have enough information, we can just optimize it and make it better. We can reduce costs, reduce emissions, and of course help the municipality to give a better service to the residents.
But this doesn't mean that you're putting sensors into the garbage cans, right? You have a much more scalable approach to this whole problem.
Yeah, of course. So our idea, which is not so common, is about in making the garbage truck smarter, not the bins. Because in a city, there are a lot of bins, a lot of containers. Let's say that one truck is responsible for up to 10,000 bins. So what we decided to do is to develop a device which is installed on the truck itself that actually can measure the amount of the waste, the capacity of the bin for every waste pickup, for every lift. We can actually get the time, the location, and the capacity of the waste. Besides, we also have some visual documentation before and after the collection to make sure that everything is going on the best way. We actually gained about 53% of optimization. It was about less mileage, less working hours, less emission because we drove less in the city, less traffic jams, which actually made better service to the residents because the trucks came to collect the waste only when it's needed and didn't make some traffic jams because while we have actually learned the pattern of the waste production of the area, we were able to tell them how to collect the waste only 2 times a week instead of 3 times a week. For example, this was in this case. So it actually direct save of about 30% of the costs of the emission and all the related issues of this. So this is one example how we actually have learned the waste generation rate. We've learned the patterns. We took the policy of the municipality. They wanted to reduce costs. They wanted to reduce the emissions in those neighborhoods. And they also wanted to keep the residents happier because they still wanted to give them the service that they used to.
Why did you guys not do the thing that everybody talks about and use Amazon Lambda? What is so different about IBM Cloud Functions? What swayed you guys to say, we are going to go down a different route and went with IBM versus with Amazon on this topic?
It allows us to see what's under the hood. And if we find something that doesn't really meet our needs, we can help and contribute and help to improve it. We can the best, try to customize it according to our needs. It actually helps us to give and to build better product.
So it's that open aspect of things, the fact that this is an open source project governed by Apache versus something proprietary that Amazon runs on their servers. That was the biggest piece. And what specifically were your concerns there in terms of supporting a specific runtime, discontinuing the technology that supported it? What were the very specific concerns?
Another issue, which is a very important one, is that we actually took a kind of B2G company. We are working we have a lot of work with municipalities. And in this case and in this world, some of our potential customers might want us to work on premise and not on any cloud service. Using IBM Cloud Functions, which is based on Apache OpenWhisk, actually gives us the option to deploy Apache OpenWhisk on premise, on regular servers, and working with our system on the same architecture without making it from the beginning. It's
so in terms of compliance regulations, right? Knowing, because at the end of the day, it's all running with containers in the backend, right? Otherwise, it couldn't just give you that capacity and take it back. So there's a container scheduler in the back that does all this for you, and you have more control over that scheduler, and you know more what it's doing and what it's co-locating compared to what happens on the Amazon cloud, because those guys are, of course, not going to tell you what they're going to do, right? So it's kind of a...
Exactly. This is actually the main benefit is that it can be customizable. We can use it in other places. If we will have to work on premise, we'll be able to do it, and it won't take us too much time, because when the cloud function, when IBM Cloud Function while it's based on open source, we can actually learn and understand how exactly does it work. It can help us with immigrating the system to on-premise if needed. We don't know if we'll have to do it, but we want to have this option.
Thank you, Eddie, and this was another episode of EMA Cloud Rant.